cannot put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you what it is. I couldn't tell you why. But the holiday magic that was around about, oh, I don't know, not even 5 years ago is gone. It's like post COVID 19. Crap, it's like post COVID 19 has, I don't know, it's like post COVID world has really destroyed what Christmas means and the holiday season means. It really has. And I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you how. God, that glare is killing me, man. Let's put it in here. So I couldn't tell you why. I couldn't tell you how. I couldn't tell you what can be done. It's like everything that we used to hold dear not 5 years ago. Not like I'm talking about the 1990s. The 90s were great. Don't get me wrong. I lived the 90s. I was a kid in the late 80s to the early to mid 90s. And even my early adult years in the late 90s and early 2000s, Christmas was magical. The holidays was magical. It really was. And, you know, my daughters, my teenage daughters now, prior to COVID, and even like it started at the end of 2021, when really people started to go see their family members again, when you could be together again. It was like the last magical season before this tiny population of jerk-offs ruined Christmas and a lot of the traditions that come with it. Freaking spider. Stupid spider. So, I don't know how to fix it either. I don't know what to do about it. That's what's crazy. So what I try to do is I try to make people laugh, try to make people smile, try to create content that's fun and enjoyable. And you know, one of the things that I get complaints about all the time in comments of my videos is, oh, it's a slob. Oh, you know, you're a jerk. Oh, you're an ass. Oh, you're an idiot. I mean, I get all that across all the platforms, across all the content that I do, from the camping stuff to the AI babies to Bigfoot. And hi, you know, I get a bunch of jerks that constantly want to talk crap and constantly want to be just, you know, dicks, right? And me personally, I could care less. They can keep commenting. It helps me, even if you're making negative comments, it helps the channel, so I'm not going to stop them. But in all reality, it's the reason why I make a lot of the comedy content that I do. You know, it's a reason why when I find somebody that made something that's close to funny, I recreate it to make it funnier. And yeah. Hi, guys. Yeah, I'm straight. Sorry. Thanks. I enjoy life. And even though the magic of Christmas has disappeared over the last 3 years, I still think there's a lot of positivity in the world. And I still think, you know, as long as we keep creating positive entertainment, the world has a shot of recapturing the magic. And that's what's cool about the whole situation. You know, what's cool is it may not feel like Christmas magic is here this year. And it's true across it, because I posted several shorts asking the question, right, of who else feels like this. And it's like thousands and thousands of people. And I'm a small channel, and it's thousands of people that feel this way, that feel like Christmas, like the Christmas spirit's kind of left the world. And I think it'll be back. I think it will be, because I think people are sick and tired of being told what they can and cannot do. I think people are tired of it. I think people are tired of the negativity and the negative people and the body count talk and the toxicity talk. And I think people are just sick and tired of it. Like, I think people are to the point like, okay, that's boring, move on. You know, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and complain. You know, I trust me, I'm going to be looking in foreign countries for my next wife. Not because of what everybody's doing wrong, but because I can't find what I'm looking for in the United States of America. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go around and tell every woman that lives in America that they're a bad person, and they're bad this, and they're nasty, and they're over this and over that, and blah, blah, blah. It means that overall I'm going to take my passport and I'm going to meet, because there's billions of women in the world, I'm going to try to meet somebody in a country like Nigeria or New Zealand or Switzerland or Germany or Italy or Egypt. I mean, I'm going to travel and I'm going to go see what's out there. And it's going to be a journey. It's going to be a journey I'm going to start in 2027. And I'm going to spend all 2026 saving for it. So magic can be recaptured, and positive entertainment and energy can be recaptured. You know? And it's going to be a blast. Why? Because it's sucked. And there's got to be something better out there, and I just got to look elsewhere. And I've heard a lot of great success stories, and it's like, let me go see what that's like. There's no promises that I'll find somebody, and there's no promises that there's someone out there for me. But I'm going to go look, and I'm going to go search, and I'm going to probably have a good time doing it. You know? But Christmas to me is a celebratory time. And unfortunately, it's not the magic it was prior to cancel culture. Yeah, I know I can't, Terrence. I know I can't. Hi, Mommy Quartz. I know I can't. I've already tried. There's nobody out there. And the way social media is, it's not, in what I'm looking for is not here. Not in the USA. And that's okay. Nothing wrong with it. Everybody's got their own, they always say different strokes for different folks. Now, 5-6 years ago, it was here in the United States. It wasn't that long ago. Prior to COVID-19, prior to the COVID, post extreme cancel culture, post put everybody on blast on social media for opening a door for somebody, post everything just divisive and politically hard to find what you're looking for here in the US of A. It's a lot easier to find it abroad. Where that is, no. A buddy of mine met his soulmate in Italy. Another one of them met, I don't know what the country is. He met his wife there. So you just never know, you know. I've so many success stories. One of my really good female colleagues met her husband in Spain. So you just never know. I mean, there's billions of people in the world. You know, who says that our person is confined to a country we live in? It doesn't mean anything, right? So no idea what I'm gonna find, Terrence. I know that I got a shot finding what I'm looking for. It's gonna happen. That's the thing. There's no guarantees in life. There is no guarantee that Christmas magic will come back. But I have faith, and I have a positive attitude and a positive outlook about it. I think by December of 2026, we'll quit all this cancel culture crap about Christmas traditions and Hanukkah traditions and Kwanzaa traditions and get back to being us. You know, hi Aliar. So I gotta believe that humanity will return to some form of normalcy at the end of next year. You know, and we'll have a very good Merry Christmas, a Happy Kwanzaa, a Happy Hanukkah, and a Happy New Year of 2026 going into 2027. But for now, in this moment, the holiday magic's gone. Dating sucks. Trying to find a soulmate, whether you're a man or a woman in the USA, is almost impossible because everybody's just putting on a fake face or so confused about what they really want in life and rely on strangers to tell them who they are and how to heal. You know, so it's just a matter of having faith and having a positive outlook on life and seeing things for what they really are. That's why if you go look at most of the content I create across 4 channels, it's mainly positive. I do have one channel where I do my bitching and complaining, but outside that, I'm good. You know? So, yeah, I mean, you just gotta wake up tomorrow and have faith. I don't know, it's a vibe. It's a feeling, you know? Like, here, Terrence, I'll give you an example. Here's a great example, okay? So, yesterday, I did grocery shopping. Okay, so I did all kinds of grocery shopping, did my laundry, just did normal stuff. And so someone was trying to get into the laundromat and they had like 5 bags and they were just struggling to like get them out of their car and put them in the cart thing and wheel it into the laundromat. And I watched, I was going to go help, but there was a guy that actually walked out and helped this young lady by opening the door and holding the door for her. And she was just rude and obnoxious about it. Like, I don't need a man's help. Thank you. It's like you're struggling to get all this stuff out of the car. Someone's willing to hold the door for you, and you're being rude and obnoxious about it. And that's because social media has taught humanity in Western culture that rude and nastiness is the way to behave. Because, like Lil Wayne says, I went to pay attention, but attention paid me. So that's what you find in the USA. No matter if you go to farmland, the South, the Pacific Northwest, the Midwest, it's just full of rude and obnoxious people that have been corrupted by fake content to create dollars and greed and cents and things of that nature. And you know, it's the same thing that's helped destroy a lot of Christmas traditions, you know, and it's what has created this vibe across a lot of the United States and Canada and other parts of the world where people feel like celebrating their holiday, whether they're Jewish and they celebrate Hanukkah, or whether, you know, they're part of the part of a Christian division of the world like Catholicism, and they feel like celebrating Christmas is like the ultimate social none, or you're not supposed to do it because, you know, Dreaming of a White Christmas needs to be canceled because it was written by some guy because he said something toxic back in the 1930s. I mean, there's a lot of that's been going on over the last 3 years. When prior to the last 3 years, the first 100-something plus years of this great holiday tradition that has been celebrated for hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years in different ways, in different cultures, nobody ever complained. But the last 3 years, because of the internet and because of ad revenue and brand deals and political divisiveness and the need to soak up attention and get attention from people, that need, that desire for people to do something controversial and say something nasty about other people just to drum up some excitement and get likes on a page and swipes on an app. I mean, that's the vibe, right? So that's why the magic isn't here. That's why the magic is just not what it was. But I think it will return, because I think once people get past this year and stop, and their number one concern isn't putting food on the table and wondering where their next meal's coming from, because there's a lot of people in the United States that can't even pay their rent. They're trying to make decisions between paying their rent and putting food in the refrigerator. That's real, right? And between all that and everything in the cancel culture era and social media era and everything in there, and everything's been thrown out there, people just don't have the energy to reignite what my algorithm, Terrence, my algorithm is very different than most people's, because most of what I get on TikTok and YouTube is usually educational stuff. Like, I get a lot of finance stuff, and I get a lot of finance alerts about the stock market, and I watch about video making and video content creating, and I do a lot of, most of what I get is educational how-to videos that always come through. But when you're sitting down at a laundromat and watching stuff play out in person, when 5 weeks ago you're standing in Walmart and witnessing a person obnoxiously screaming at the top of their lungs at a cashier because they asked for them for wait one moment while they get a person to override something, when you see the nastiness and the rude, obnoxious behavior in person, whether you're in a small town or a large city, when you see it in person, you don't have to watch it on social media. When you walk around a town, because you're doing some kind of filming or doing some kind of, like I just filmed a bunch of hawks the other day that were circling around this beautiful tree. I'm going to post that to this channel eventually here. When you see that, when you're around that and you go walk down to your local McDonald's to get an ice cream or a coffee or something, and everybody that's surrounding you has their face buried in their phone and not looking where they're going, and then when a car honks and being nasty to them, they start flipping each other off, like everywhere we go is Hollywood movie central New York City, if you get my drift. It just makes you wonder, like, what happened? And that's what has happened. I used to watch a lot of people in the world when I would walk around, when you held doors for people, when you helped the elderly, when you helped a mom of three that's struggling with their kids to put groceries in the back of her car, you didn't get the rude nastiness that you get today. When you got an older gentleman who's having a tough time, opening a door because he's trying to hold 2 grocery bags and he's got his walker with him, and he's just a rude jackass because you're trying to hold the door and help him, and predominant as it is today. And you don't have to go on social media to see that. You if you just go sit and watch people, it's like there's just a nastiness to everybody. And I know part of it is economic stress. Other factors beyond social media. But social media and everything on it amplifies these emotions and amplifies these problems, amplifies these things. Right? So that's where, if things are going to get better, they have to get better by us looking inward and realizing that a stranger that went to a school or got a certification to be a therapist is generally not the best person to help solve our problems. Maybe they're the best person to hear us out when we need to talk and when we need to talk things through. But to solve our own problems as human beings, we just have to look in the mirror and make the decision that, hey, today I'm going to help somebody. And if somebody helps me, I'm going to thank them and say I appreciate them. And if we can start by the world being nice to each other again, just having manners. There are more manners in the world amongst human beings than that magic of Christmas, July, and Easter, and Kwanzaa, and Hanukkah, and all these holidays and all these celebrations would not feel the vibe they are this year. And the vibe that's become over the last 3 years. So I remember at the end of 2021, guys, there were so many people that hadn't seen family members for the holidays for 2 years because COVID was just running rampant. It was highly contagious. The whole pandemic was crazy. And people were just absolutely excited to go see their family members for the first time and not have to see them through a video call or see them through Skype or see them through something of that nature. Kids were back in the classrooms or getting back to the classrooms. You know, there were just things like that that were occurring. And then from there, it just took a crap. And it took a crap because, again, just there's people who got a foothold into algorithms because people were bored and sitting at home and nothing better to do. There was a lot of positive things that came out of it, but for the most part, it was like, holy guacamole. This is insane. So, yeah, just craziness. All it is just nutty, nutty, nutty times. And like right now, I mean, I've gotten nostalgic. And how I've gotten nostalgic is I've started playing Pokemon again. Like, that's one thing that's been kind of like making me realize that playing this little video games, like right now I'm playing Pokemon Silver. Okay, and I played Pokemon Red the other day. And the reason, I know it sounds nuts, but at my age, I was in high school when these video games came out, right? On the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color. But when I'm playing this game, which is so simple, it reminds me that, you know what? We can all get to the feeling we had and get it back. We can get the magic back. We just have to continue down the path of being positive. And that's one thing I'm trying to do with this channel. You know, there's a lot of people that get mad because I use AI or because I use VEO3 or Sora 2 to make a lot of my content, because I want to keep things positive. I want to make people smile and make people laugh, because right now people need a laugh. They don't need a politically correct person to come on and tell them how crappy the world is. They need some positive energy in their life. They need to open up the apps and scroll through and find, you know, Bigfoot making a dad joke, or Yeti eating something that we all can relate to, and, you know, his butt's on fire because he can't deal with it. And there's so many creators out there that have created content like that, that post it, and, you know, they get trashed by people because I don't know if they're just jealous or scared of it or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, they're not doing it to be nasty. They're doing it to be funny and make people laugh and make people have a good time and remind people that it's okay to tell a dirty joke. It's okay to be, you know, tell a little insensitive joke, because at the end of the day, it's not meant to offend people. It's meant to make people laugh. It's meant to make people smile. It's meant to make your day brighter. You know, comedians like Bernie Mac and Eddie Murphy and Robin Williams, they told such insensitive, dirty, nasty jokes. Chris Rock, all kinds of guys, and they're not meant to get up there and you to take them seriously. They're meant to make you laugh, and the crowd would bust up laughing. It didn't matter what their religion, their sexual orientation, their race, their culture, didn't matter. People would just bust up laughing and having a blast and having a good time. And that's what it's meant to do, is entertain and make people get all the food that we need. Key. That's the key. You know. And I think that's the key to how we get the Christmas magic back. Is saying screw everybody, screw the 0.125% of Americans that are offended by a traditional Christmas song with a traditional Santa, with a traditional, Merry Christmas, and just back to everybody live their lives how they want to live them. And let's keep government out of our lives, keep government out of our homes, keep government out of our religion, keep government out of things, and just enjoy our lives. And because we only get one of them, we get one. And I love Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy did a movie a while back ago where he's this guru, and he's walking around on the Home Shopping Network, and he talks about 75 years. That's what you get on this planet. 75 summers, 75 falls, 75 winters, 75 springs. If you're lucky, you get 75 of them. Don't waste them, right? So, just... I think next year is going to be better. I really do. Have this gut, my gut feeling tells me that life is going to be better in 2026 than it was the last 3 years combined. And I believe that because there's no way that we could get worse. We can't. We've hit rock bottom. There's nowhere to go but up. And that's what's cool. And that's what will make life great. Like they say in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. And I think humanity will find a way to get back where we need to be. So I'm going to keep playing my Pokemon game. You guys have a great night.